Good morning, students, and welcome back to your history classes. So, in today's video, we shall begin with a new chapter, that is chapter 7, Rise of the Vijayanagar and the Bahmani Kingdoms. So, in the previous chapters, we have studied about the Turkish invasions, the rise of the Delhi Sultanate, and the expansion of the Delhi Sultanate. And we have also studied about its downfall, that is the downfall of the Delhi Sultanate, which leads to the establishment of the other new empires. So these two new empires are the Vijayanagar and the Bahmani. So in this chapter, we shall study about the Vijayanagar and the Bahmani kingdoms. So disintegration of the Delhi Sultanate. The disintegration or the breaking down of the Delhi Sultanate, or the downfall. Now, the Delhi Sultanate reached the zenith of its power during the reign of the Tughlaq dynasty. Yet this very dynasty sowed the seed of its own destruction, which made the final collapse of the Delhi Sultanate inevitable. The causes of the disintegration of the Delhi Sultanate are as follows. So, the Delhi Sultanate reached its peak of success, or the point of greatest power or success, during the reign of the Tughlaq dynasty. Yet this very dynasty sowed the seeds of its own destruction. But it is this very own dynasty, the Tughlaq dynasty, which is responsible for its downfall or for the collapse of the Delhi Sultanate. So the causes of this disintegration or the downfall or the breaking down of the Delhi Sultanate are as follows. The failure of Muhammad bin Tughlaq's visionary schemes drained the treasury and depleted his government's resources. So in the previous chapters, we have studied about Muhammad bin Tughlaq and his schemes, which involves the schemes of taxation in the Doab, the transfer of capital, his expansion scheme, and also the token currency. So, because he was not able to execute these schemes, therefore he had exhausted the royal treasury and undermined the prestige and position of the Sultan, which has also led to the downfall of the Delhi Sultanate. Now, the second one, agriculture and trade suffered a severe setback. Now, agriculture suffered a heavy setback due to lack of rain, and severe famine broke out. Therefore, the peasants, the farmers, were forced to abandon their lands and fled to the jungle. Why these farmers they abandoned their lands? Because of the increase in the land taxation. Now the third one, the misery, hardship and agony of the people caused widespread resentment. Now remember, Muhammad bin Tughlaq's schemes, one of his schemes, that is a transfer of capital from Delhi to Daulatabad, has brought great resentment, hardship and misery to the people. Now these people have to move from one place to another, and due to the long and arduous journey, many of them died on the way. So this has caused mental agony and suffering, which is also a result of resentment of the people. The army suffered heavy casualties and the prestige of the Sultan suffered a serious blow. Now the expansion scheme of Muhammad bin Tughlaq has depleted the royal treasure. Now remember, Muhammad bin Tughlaq, he dreamt of establishing a world empire. So he decided to conquer Khorasan, Persia and Iraq. So he mobilized a huge army and paid them 1 full year's salary. But later, he abandoned this project. Why? Because he realized that it would not be easy to send such large army to the snowy Himalayan passes. So this has depleted the royal treasury, and the army has suffered heavy casualties, and only 10 soldiers returned to Delhi. Now the fifth one, revolts broke out throughout the Turkish Empire. Independent and powerful kingdoms were established in the Deccan. So the revolts broke out in all parts of the Delhi Sultanate, and this has led to the establishment of two powerful kingdoms, that is the Vijayanagar and the Bahmani kingdoms in the South India. Now Bengal and Sindh also asserted their independence. Now this dealt a body blow to the Tughlaq Empire and set in motion the process of its disintegration. So the revolt which broke out in the Delhi Sultanate, or in all parts of the Sultanate, is also one of the causes of the disintegration of the Delhi Sultanate. Now Firoz Shah Tughlaq lacked the basic qualities of a military commander. Now we have studied in the previous chapter that Firoz Shah was a wise and benevolent ruler. However, he lacked the basic qualities of a military commander. His weak foreign policy demoralized the army and encouraged the enemies of the Sultanate. Now we have studied about Firoz Shah's foreign policy. His feeble attempts to recover Bengal ended in failure, and he showed no interest in recovering the provinces that had become independent during the reign of Muhammad bin Tughlaq. Now Firoz Shah was a very kind ruler. His kindness towards corrupt officials and even criminals weakened the administration and sapped the vitality of the state. Now Firoz Shah, he was a very kind and benevolent ruler. His kindness towards his corrupt officials has sapped the vitality of the states. Now he was the one who abolished the torture system. He was the one who abolished the system of torture, and he even forgave those suspected criminals and giving them only mild punishment. So this has weakened the administration. Now the death of Firoz Shah was followed by a civil war among his descendants. Now after his death, there was a civil war among his descendants. They were fighting against another. The chaos was further compounded by numerous revolts that broke out. So numerous revolts broke out after the death of Firoz Shah Tughlaq. One by one, the powerful governors of the provinces of the Tughlaq Empire declared their independence. Now one by one, his governors, they declared their independence and claimed their provinces. Now finally, the empire was reduced to only Punjab and the area around Delhi. Now the final blow to the Tughlaq dynasty was dealt by Amir Timur, the Mongol ruler who invaded India in 1398-99 CE and mercilessly plundered India. So the final blow to the Tughlaq dynasty was dealt by Amir Timur. So the last person who invaded the Tughlaq dynasty was Amir Timur, the Mongol ruler who invaded India in 1398 to 99 CE and plundered Delhi and looted all its wealth. Thus the last nail in the coffin of the Tughlaq dynasty had been hammered, and the sun had finally set on the Tughlaq Empire. So these are the various causes which led to the downfall of the Delhi Sultanate. It's because of the irresponsible and the weak administration of the Tughlaq rulers itself. The disintegration of the Tughlaq Empire saw the establishment of two independent and powerful kingdoms in the Deccan, that is the Vijayanagar and the Bahmani kingdoms. So with the downfall of the Tughlaq Empire, we saw the establishment of two independent and powerful kingdoms, that is the Vijayanagar and the Bahmani kingdoms. As the Sultanate broke up, North India was rocked by political turmoil and instability. In sharp contrast, South India enjoyed a period of stability and prosperity that lasted for more than 200 years. So as the Sultanate broke up, North India was shocked by political upheaval, confusion, and disturbance and instability. Now, in sharp contrast, South India, enjoyed a period of stability and prosperity that lasted for more than 200 years. So, the Vijayanagar and the Bahmani kingdoms, they are the two powerful kingdoms of South India. Now, the Vijayanagar Kingdom. Vijayanagar, that is the city of victory, was established in 1336 CE by two brothers, Harihara I and Bukaya Raya I. So this Vijayanagar kingdom was established by the two brothers in 1336 CE, that is Harihara I and Bukaya Raya I, on the banks of the river Tungabhadra. Now this river Tungabhadra, it flows from Karnataka to Andhra Pradesh, and it is one of the sacred river. Now the two brothers fought many wars with the neighboring states and brought the whole of South India from the river Tungabhadra to Cape Comorin. So Cape Comorin here, it is the southern tip, and it is known as Kanyakumari in today's. The Vijayanagar kingdom was ruled by 16 kings, and it was one of the most powerful Indian kingdoms that lasted for about 230 years. So the Vijayanagar kingdom was based in the Deccan Plateau of South India, and the Bahmani kingdom, it was also the first independent Muslim kingdom of the Deccan, which was based in South India. So in the next video, we shall continue with Krishna Deva, the greatest ruler of the Vijayanagar kingdom. So we shall stop here for today. Thank you.